It's in the preparation of the jars that God is calling you to go and create, to go and build, to go and do, that you will receive the overflow. But the jars you feel like don't make sense. You feel like you should have the thing. You should have the promise that you've been waiting on in order to then do the jars. But see, that's where the enemy is trying to meet you. That's where he's trying to trick you, to make you think that these other things would come after that. These other things would come as an abundance of that. But that's a lie from the pits of hell. You see, if God is saying to do it this way, our God is wisdom. He has all wisdom, all knowledge, all power. His ways and his thoughts are higher and above ours. But it's in the instruction that he's giving you to do the things, even if they look like they're out of order, that you will then see the filling, that you will then see the overflow, that you will then see the increase. So I was talking with my daughter the other day, and we were waiting on her tablet. By the grace of God, we were able to get our children some tablets, some more tablets. Some stuff had happened to their prior tablets. They needed some more tablets, and we were able to get them tablets. God is good. So anyway, everybody else had received her tablet but her. And so she had all of the other pieces, though. She had the headphones, the keyboard, the tablet cover. She had the little stickers to decorate it. She had everything else she needed except for the actual tablet, the missing component, right? And so she was just kind of waiting on everything. And I encouraged her. I said, well, let's go ahead and decorate the tablet cover, right? Let's get the things together so that way it's cute and it's prepared to house the tablet, right? Then let's go ahead and make sure we charge the mouse and the keyboard and the headphones. Let's read up on how to utilize and pair the headphones. Let's have everything ready so when the tablet does come, it has everything it needs in order to work at the full functionality that is needed, right? Because I wouldn't give her the tablet if it didn't have the cover to go into, if it didn't have the screen protector, if it didn't have all of those other essential items, because those things would be needed in order to protect what it is that she would be giving, that would be gifted to her, that would be hers, that was her promise. But the other things were needed in order for it to work at its full operability, in order for it to be the best that it could be, in order for her to enjoy it the way that she was called and needed to enjoy it, and in order for it to be protected. You see, what God is doing in this hour, in this season, as many are birthing the promise, as many are going through the birthing pains, is God is saying, ready the jars. Finish readying the jars. I know it doesn't make sense that I'm calling for you to post the videos that you feel like nobody's watching. I know it doesn't make sense for you to go and open up the business name and you feel like you don't have everything that you need for the business. You don't have the storefront yet. I know it doesn't make sense to go and make the move and you're like, how am I going to do it when I don't have the money yet? This is the promise over here, but you're telling me to do all these other things. This all seems out of order. And you see, what you have to remember is God is not out of order. God is a God of order. But his order is not our order. His order is not man's order. Put the jars in order so that your vessels can be ready to be filled. So that just like the widow woman and her sons, you will eat and not die. You will have overflow. You will enter into the promise so the famine can be over. So that you can walk through the door that God has for you. That will be for legacy. That will be for the good of many others and to the glory of God. You see, don't listen to the trick of our minds, of our man-made wisdom, the trick of the enemy that's trying to tell you that doing the other things over here don't make sense, that they're not time for those things. You're only to walk in those things once you receive the promise. No. It's when you walk in those other things, it's in your obedience in doing those other acts, that when you receive the promise, you'll now have what you need to guard and protect the promise, just like my daughter needed the case. You'll now have what you need in order to steward the promise well, the accessories that are needed in order for the promise to do what it is that God has called for it to do. And because you've been obedient, you will hear the voice of the Lord better, to understand his instruction in the promise and in the promised land that he's ushering you into. You see, God is doing the thing. It's already done. But we have to ready our jars. We have to ready the things that God has placed into our hands to steward them well, even if it looks like we're missing the component. You see, it looked a little silly having the tablet case all fully decorated, having the mouse, having the keyboard, having the headphones, but there was no tablet in them. But at the right time, when the tablet came at its appointed time, before its appointed time actually, when the tablet came, everything else was already in place in order to receive it. There was nothing lacking. There was nothing missing. There was nothing that wasn't going to protect it because the tablet had everything it needed. You see, in this hour, for who all this is for, the jars that you are readying are the things that you will need to guard and protect the promise. The jars that you are readying are the things that you will need in order to walk you fully through the promised door, to keep you in the promised land. The jars that you are readying are the increase, the overflow, the knowledge, the wisdom that you'll need to steward the promise well. Don't let the enemy trick you out of your position by thinking that the things are disjointed, by thinking that those things are worthless without the promise. It is by doing those things that you will receive the full value, the full worth of the promise. So steward this time well. In your time of waiting on the promise, steward well the jars that God has told you to ready, the jars that God has told you to have prepared to receive the overflow. So I pray that this is a blessing and an encouragement for you, because this blessed me and encouraged me. And y'all be blessed.